Hi everyone, so today is another episode of Behind the Scribbles. In case you didn't hear, I published a collection of poetry called The Beauty in Breathing. My book baby looks like this. It is so beautiful. It's a collection of poetry about loneliness and sadness and getting lost and finding yourself and finding the beauty in life, and I wrote it when I was going through some rough times and then when I was feeling better. So I already made 2 or 3 videos about this, so I'm gonna link it down below if you want to check that out, and any links to get the book are down below, so if you want to get it, that's where you can find it. And I was just thinking that I could read a few more of the poems and just kind of talk about them. And yes, I obviously want the poems to kind of speak for themselves, but I just wanted to pick a few that I can tell you a little bit more about, just in case you're interested, or if you don't know if you want to buy the book, then, you know, maybe hearing the poems will help you decide. The first one I would like to share with you is called Trying to Find My Way. When we're lost, it's okay to be afraid. It's okay if we hate to wait. It's okay if we're confused and sad and angry and frustrated, but we will find our way, only if we keep going. We can't just stay in one place, watch all the days pass us by. We have to say goodbye to the fear, let the future get near, but focus on the present, on the journey we're walking. It's okay if we feel like we're drowning in the fog, in the confusion of everything, in the desperate want to just know. It sucks when we can't know now, when we can't figure out what the future will turn out to be like, when we can't figure out who we are and what we feel, but we'll get through all this. The wounds will heal and we will get near to where we want to go, but right now, we just have to keep walking. The meaning behind it, I think, is clear, mostly, but I just got really lost. A lot of my poems are about me being lost and not knowing where I'm going and just like being afraid of the future, being sad and just confused and everything. And there are lots of things that I was dreaming about and things that I didn't know how they would turn out, things that I didn't know if it would happen and everything. And it's insane to look at it now, because right after I wrote all of this, right after I accepted the reality I was in, I got so much closer to all of my dreams and everything changed, and I found myself again, and I feel better than I ever have in my life. Right now, reading this and how I said that I just, you just have to keep going, I see myself and how sad I was, and I kept going, and it got me to the most beautiful places I've ever been in my whole life. And so I'm just here to tell you that that's gonna happen for you too, and you just have to keep going right now. No matter how tough it gets, you just have to keep going. And I know that this might sound like a cliche, but life will just get tough, but only if we keep on going, it is gonna get better. And yes. Okay, so this one is called A Colorful World. There are so many colors in this big, crazy world. The sky and the flowers, the grass and the fires, the fruits and the vials, passion and love, hope and luck, joy and excitement, a cozy apartment, cacti and roses, photos, funny poses, friendships and lollipops, lipsticks and cute tops, laughter and smiles, truths instead of lies, paints and the taste of delicious food, a happy, joyful mood. This world has its colors, for friends and for lovers, both happy and sad, normal and mad, green and purple, a scarf and a turtle, pink or red, love well said. Let's paint our lives in these lovely colors, bring some flowers, or cry happy blue tears, overcome our purple fears, feel the warmth of the yellow bright hope, buy some great food and make it on the stove, taste and hear and feel the colors with our friends and with our lovers. I actually don't fully remember when I wrote this one. I actually really like how it sounds. I really like how I put the random little things, like physical things, like the lollipops, and then like the passion and love and everything, because those are the different colors of the world. You know, the things that are deep within, and the things like roses and the moon, and I have flowers right here, and these are some of my favorite things in the world that are just so insanely beautiful. You know, these things are things that we often forget about, and it might be like, yeah, okay, roses, they're pretty, but that's kind of all you might see in them. But I even wrote poems about roses, and they became like my nature role model in a way, which might sound extremely weird, but they're gentle and beautiful, but they also have thorns, and they're strong and resilient, you know, and that's what I saw in them, and that really motivated me, and they're just like insanely beautiful. And I think this whole poem is just about paying attention to both of these types of things, to the little things that we take for granted, to the big things that are deep within our souls. And that's what this poem is about. And those are all the colors in the world. And it's okay if we get lost sometimes, and if we can't see all the beauty, but if we can't feel it especially, but we will believe it and feel it again. So I'm not sure if I've shown you this, but I think I did, maybe. I wrote a lot of these poems into these two notebooks because I don't write poems on my laptop. I write novels on my laptop, and I actually was thinking that it'd be fun if I find these poems, if I find them in the book. When I wrote them, I actually wrote the date and the place, and so I was thinking it could be fun to share that with you, and I just need to figure out where the heck this poem is. So this is a poem I wrote on February 20th in Edinburgh in Starbucks with a really close friend of mine, and we told each other that like we decided to write a poem together, not together, but like both of us wrote one poem, and we just gave each other a topic or like a thing, and the thing was just to write about pain. We both have really different styles and everything, so we just thought it was fun, and this poem was created out of that, and it made it into this beautiful book. So it's called Pain. I know that's very original. There were times when I felt like I was alone in a pit of misery, and the way to get out has been a mystery, but at least there was something to eat and drink. It wasn't all that bad, and it gave me time to think. But now there's nothing left. There's no one here. Only fear and my tears, and I'm drowning in them. The hem of my dress is soaking in the pool of water, and it's rising up. It does it better than I do, and I can't remember how to swim. I'm on the brim of insanity. I'm drowning because I can't stop crying, and I'm dying and pining after the thought of someone's hand that would help me get out. But there's no one here. I actually love the fact that I wrote this in Starbucks when I wasn't even alone, so I don't know if it's weird to say what I like about the poem, but I think it's great to normalize being proud of what we've created, and so I will say what I like about it. I really like that it's kind of visual while also being super emotional and everything, because like everything for me, all these poems are just really about emotions and thoughts and feelings and everything that happens deep within. But I love metaphors and linking everything to real world things that are often visual and stuff, and so I really like that about it, and I'm not in that pit anymore. I'm not miserable anymore. I'm not in pain anymore, and this is so funny because I'm over here trying to share like a bit of a behind the scribbles, you know, behind the scenes, behind these poems. I'm trying to share that with you, but then again, like a lot of this just makes me speechless because I'm like, so much has changed in my life, and Wow, okay. I wrote some poems in Oxford, so I'm like, yeah, I could share that with you. I wrote that in this notebook. So the next poem I want to share with you is called Lone Wolf, and I have that in this notebook, and I wrote this on February 12th, 2019, on a train from Oxford to London. I don't go to Oxford, I just went there for a trip, so she always walks ahead of the pack. Her quick paws wander off into the woods, 'cause she wants to see all the flowers, the fairies, and the colors of nature and the sky. And when she lies alone at night, howling at the moon, she wishes someone could answer, but she goes to sleep knowing that even though the stars don't react, they're always keeping her company. So again, I think it's clear I've written a lot of stuff about loneliness, and with most of my poems, they had like a sad undertone. Some of them were really sad, some of them were just a little sad, but with all of them, I tried to make sure that at least a tiny drop of hope was mixed into it. And this, even though it's about something sad, it is still really filled with hope and something kind of more peaceful and something that made it better. And for me, when I was really, really lonely, I don't know if this is gonna sound weird, but I just really sought comfort in the universe and the world around me and the stars and everything. And for other people, it might be different, you know, depending on like if you are religious or you know what your beliefs are, any kind of that kind of stuff, then you could seek comfort in that. But for me, I'm not religious, but I I feel like a really strong connection to just the whole world, and that's what really helped me, you know, like I try to really pay attention to the world around me. And when I looked at the night sky, I just felt less alone, because I was like, there are people out there in this world who feel just as lonely, and the stars and the moon are keeping me company. Which I know for sure, like, there are people who'd be like, what the fuck, that's bullshit, you know, it's just like a rock. But it's not how I felt, nor do I feel like that right now. So this is kind of addictive. I'm like, I didn't want this video to be too long, but I want to share another poem with you. So another poem is called, probably the last one I'm going to share with you today, is called Caged Up. And I wrote this in this notebook, and I wrote it on February 28th, 2019, in London, in my room, past midnight. And if you write poems, I seriously recommend you to write the place, the time, the day, and everything, because like it often brings back like the moment, and you know, it just often brings back memories, and it's just really special and like cool to see, you know, like the progress, whether it's writing progress or life progress or anything like that. It's really cool. So yes, please let me out. I whisper, but no one can hear me. Even when I shout my lungs out, there's no answer. I try to shake the cell, I try to destroy it, I have to break it, I have to make it out of here. It's just me, alone in a dark room. So many thoughts and broken dreams are rushing through my head. I wish I could be flying instead, amongst the moon and the stars. I'm cursing at those who locked me up. I hate them, I need them to help me get out, but there's only one key. And it's in my pocket. This I think is one of my favorite poems. This poem means a lot to me, and the message is something that I still need to keep on reminding myself. And I think that it's really important for all of us to remember that, like, yes, there are times when we are locked in a cage that we don't have the control to get out of. But a lot of the times we think or feel or just forget that, like, yes, we feel like we're locked up and we feel trapped, but a lot of the time the key really is in our pocket. The obstacle in our way is often really just ourselves, and we just forget that we have the power to make a change in our life, to change something. And of course, in some cases, it's really, really hard to get out of that cage, but we have that power. And we need to remember that. We need to remember that. We need to remember that we have the strength and the capability to get out of there. And it might take a lot of effort and some time, but we can use the key to finally get out. And with that, I'm gonna stop talking because this video is already too long. Tell me in the comments down below and give this video a thumbs up if you liked this, and if you would like me to make another one of these, because I would love to do that. It's actually really fun and I really like reading. And yeah, so again, if you would like to get the book, the links are down below. There is a link to the paperback, but if you want to get the ebook, you can also do that. It's cheaper and it is free on Kindle Unlimited if you are interested in that. And yeah, I hope you're all doing great, and I hope you liked the poems, and that's gonna be it. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you soon in another video. Bye!